If you haven't followed the Miami Heat during this incredible playoff run, this is what they do. Erik Spoelstra makes a key adjustment, Jimmy Butler provides impact without always scoring, and a bevy of undrafted players shoot so well from long range that it makes statisticians question everything they know. In Game 1, we talked about cross matches creating a problem for the small ball Miami lineup. So to give them more size, Spoelstra dusted off Kevin Love after benching him for the last 3 games. Love is big enough to discourage Aaron Gordon from backing him into the post immediately, and on this possession that slows down Denver. They want to set a screen to free up Nikola Jokic, but Bam Adebayo denies it well, and all that means Jokic catches it with just 7 seconds on the clock, which leads to a tough covered 3 and a stop. The other key part of starting Love is that Butler can guard Jamal Murray, and he uses his size here to power through a screen and stick to him, so Murray goes to a difficult one-leg jumper and misses. Remember, Denver hurt Miami in transition in Game 1, but with Love in, Gordon doesn't run straight to the rim to post up, and Love provides a big body in the paint, and that looks like he's set for the charge to me. And then Michael Porter Jr. is feeling sportsmanlike, so he doesn't hit Jokic or Murray underneath. Here's another transition sequence where Jokic is ahead of Bam that usually causes problems, but Love's in the paint to back up Butler, and Gordon's eyes light up with Max Strus in front of him again, so he calls his own number, but Love comes over and nearly stuffs the layup. This time the size shows up in the half court. Bam tries to front Jokic to take away his post-up, but Love comes over and is big enough to alter the shot at the basket. Kevin isn't much of a shot blocker, but he will rebound and position himself well. And this time he slides in front and successfully draws the offensive foul. And that was one of 3 turnovers Love forced in this game, reading this Murray pass perfectly, and in the third, once again, using his size to rotate early into Jokic and then take away the pass by targeting the ball first. And he probably hits his arm, but I love the idea using his size to clog the pass. And I thought his minutes were key to this upset. Miami outscored Denver by 18 points in Love's 22 minutes, holding them to an 85 offensive rating. But in Love's 26 minutes on the bench, Denver racked up a scorching 161 points per 100 possessions. Kevin didn't even play in the fourth because the Heat caught fire with their small ball lineups. Murray's a little too eager to contest, and Duncan Robinson takes advantage of it. And on the next possession, Denver's switching everything and in perfect position, but Robinson catches Murray by surprise, driving on the catch, and that turns into an easy layup, and no one was there to help for Denver because Bam was sealing on the inside. Throughout these playoffs, Coach Spoelstra has constantly played the hot hand, sticking with Robinson in this game as he ignited in the fourth. With Duncan hitting 3 in a row, they run him off a corner screen and he could fly up for a handoff, but curls to the basket instead. Bruce Brown switches to save the layup, but that leaves Gabe Vincent uncovered, and he puts Miami up 1. The next time they run the exact same action, Brown doesn't switch the Robinson curl, and he just finishes into the help for a 3-point lead and some mean mugging. In Game 1, Bam poured in 26 points, but these were often mid-rangers in isolation that didn't really involve any Miami shooters or cutters. So in Game 2, Spoelstra used Bam more as a playmaker from the elbow, and this time Robinson is the one setting the screen, Vincent zooms over for the handoff, and he's able to draw a foul, and Miami was already in the bonus for 2 free throws. And okay, maybe Bam was the one to foul him, but it's still a tricky action to guard because you can run so many variations on the screen. This time, instead of setting the pick, Strus slips right into the handoff, which leaves KCP behind the play, and that then opens the pocket pass to Bam, who can then finish with the left. And they kept going to this in the fourth. Robinson screens for Butler this time. Bam probably misses the backdoor pass, but they can flow into a potential handoff, or at worst, reset the whole thing with a good shooter playing spread pick and roll with Adebayo, and he can then roll to the basket and pass on the move. Butler attacks another sloppy closeout for an and one to put the Heat up 7. A minute later, they look for the same screening action on the other side. Denver blows it up and actually switches all of this movement really well. But again, Miami can fall back on spread pick and roll, where a good shooter pulls Jokic up to the level of the screen, Bam rolls free, and Porter is late on the rotation, and Adebayo flushes it. Now, in order to protect the smaller lineup defensively, Spo went to the zone for most of the fourth. Adebayo protects the basket, while the other 4 players basically take away the three-point line. And an adjustment from Game 1 was having one of the 2 defenders up top front Jokic in the high post to take away that easy catch in the middle of the floor where he's so deadly. The zone wasn't actually super effective, but it didn't need to be. It just had to throw off Denver for a possession or two and simply tread water while the Miami shooters rained fire on the other end. There's the fronting technique to take away Jokic, and that adjustment was probably just enough to hold Denver off down the stretch. Another wrinkle I loved was Miami's use of staggered screens, where a shooter can slip out to an empty corner, and Denver's not on the same page again, with Porter forgetting to switch to the corner, and it's target practice. So, after a timeout, the Nuggets get their switching buttoned up, and with Bam not involved, Jokic can sag off nicely and help, and they end up stonewalling the Heat on this trip. So, when they run it again at the end of the first half, they bring Bam back into that action. Murray is facing the sideline because he wants to force the ball to that side of the court. So Bam wisely flips the angle of the screen. That gets Vincent in front of Murray, and he can seal him off for a little floater. All of that set up my favorite play of the game, with Strus first screening for the ball handler, then getting a screen himself. And remember, Denver wants to switch this, so it creates confusion because Murray takes the ball handler, but Porter doesn't switch because he's thinking about pushing the ball to the sideline. KCP ends up chasing Strus, which leaves our old friend Love wide open. That was a nice pass from Vincent there, and he had 21 huge points on a red-hot 8 of 12 from the floor, including 4 for 6 from downtown, making a nice cut here into open space off of the Butler kickout. And I thought Jimmy's playmaking was the last big piece of the puzzle for Miami, patiently probing to find a teammate here, and some of these passes were subtle but incredibly effective. He's cleared out in isolation on this one. Denver slides an extra defender toward him, so Butler just swings it, which lets Strus attack a closeout, and he makes the nice extra pass for a Bam layup. On this play, he's attacking Jokic in pick and roll, which means Denver brings over help from the weak side, so he moves it to the corner, which finds the open man, and it's a sidestep 3 from Love. This pass to Bam was particularly nice. Gordon sticks with him on the drive, but he still hooks it back for a short little floater. And even though Butler made a huge jumper late in the game to go up 8, this pass in the final minute was just as big. Jokic usually drops, sees him pick up his dribble, and feigns a contest, but that pulls him slightly out of position. Butler slips it by him, and that earns Bam 2 huge freebies. Fittingly, Jimmy defended Murray well on the final play of the game, and the Heat held on behind a 36-point fourth quarter and 49% three-point shooting. This was the 8th time the Heat have shot 44% or better in the playoffs after doing it just 10 times all season. So, behind some lethal shooting from their cadre of undrafted players, Jimmy Butler's playmaking, and Erik Spoelstra pushing all the right buttons, the 8th-seeded Miami Heat are in probably just 3 games away from an NBA championship. If you want to work in basketball, I have the place for you. It's Sports Business Classroom's immersive program inside Summer League in Las Vegas. Past instructors in this program have included Commissioner Adam Silver, Mike D'Antoni, and tons of other industry leaders in the NBA and in media. Sign up using the code GREATDAY for $300 off. There's more information in the description box below if you are interested. To directly support this channel, check out patreon.com/thinkingbasketball. We have our proprietary stats board that updates throughout the season and the playoffs, a Discord community, and more. Thanks as always for watching this one all the way through. And of course, I hope you are having a great day.